Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Travel Geek. It is 4 o'clock in the morning here in Taiwan, about mid-afternoon stateside, and I'm in the middle of writing my very last journal. It's been an eventful, very long, very wonderful ride. It's been really something. To sum it up in just a short video, I don't even think that's possible. To give the highlights, I learned so much. I've done things I never even imagined I'd have been able to do. Been blessed with meeting wonderful, wonderful people, seeing some amazing cultures, and doing some just unbelievable things. I've just been so blessed to see all these wonderful things. A little bit about production. I have created more than 10,000 fully edited images just from these last few years in Southeast Asia, which accounts for almost half of my career totals for photography. I've created a full-length documentary, a travel and research documentary on the Philippines. From that, I've also released several shorts, some interviews, some outtakes. I have a few more to come. In fact, there's going to be a lot from the Philippines that's available to everyone who purchases the ebook, Postcards from the Pavement, Southeast Asia. During my time in Southeast Asia, I've also published two research books in the Moving Stills library of books. I'm about to publish my third book. It's within the Moving Stills library, but it's actually going to be a new theme that I've come up with. And this theme is going to carry through several short stories that I'm also going to release. And these short stories, they are accounts of the more outlandish times that I've had. I definitely don't want to make those completely public on the blog, so I'm going to release those in a book, making them slightly less public. I don't know. But underneath that same theme, I'm also releasing Mishaps in Motion, the journals that follow me throughout the last 3 years of travel in Southeast Asia. So that'll be my third book. I also have another 8 manuscripts waiting to be published. They range in theme from simple research on geographical, anthropological, cultural, traditional themes, down to just research and historical accounts of things, as well as I will be releasing in the near future some straight photo books. The magic and glory of technology is such that today's photographers are allowed to publish into things like the iPad, Kindle, things like that, that make photography books very easy to order, easy to make, easy to download, obviously. I will also be working on an app for the iPad, the iPhone, the Android phones, things like that. What I'm hoping to do is to create an app that pulls in one photo every day for 365 days and allows that to be the background of the iPad or the iPhone for that day. So that's one of the apps I'm working on now. I've traveled nearly 14,000 miles. I've lived abroad, worked abroad. I've been immersed in a true to form, completely different culture for an extended period of time, and I can't tell you what kind of an education that offers people who decide to do that. One more side note is that I've been working on several novels throughout the last 8 years or so, the last 5 years of which have been compiling even more ideas for books. Those are on the roster for being released between fall of this year and this time next year. Hopefully I'll be able to put the finishing touches on those, get those to the editors, get them back, e-publish them, and have those available on Kindle, Amazon, e-reader, PDF, stuff like that. I'll obviously offer all that on the blogs. I will be going to Macau this weekend to do some of my Hong Kong, Macau filming, but when I get back, I'm going to be doing some filming in the Penghu Islands and in Taroko area near Hualien, Taiwan, and that will essentially complete the filming for Travel Geek Documentary Taiwan, which should be released before I head back to the States in May. And speaking of that, I'm headed back to the States to take my first semester of film school. This film school is actually in the form of a 6-week workshop where I'll be living on campus, working with hands-on, state-of-the-art technology, taking on the roles of everything from a key grip to the director and everywhere in between. So I'll be learning about different variations in direction and production, different schemata for cinematography, being able to choreograph the elements of videography that I simply don't have a very good grasp on right now. And those things are pretty evident in my film, but I definitely have a passion that's emerging. And I think it's a natural progression for photographers to eventually move over into the moving visual media of film. So I think that I think I'm at that point in my passion for travel that I'm interested in moving into more and more videos. So, and that leads me into my next big goal for 2012, and that is that after film school, I'll be immediately putting the education to use by heading right back out to Southeast Asia. I'll be starting filming in Timor, and then I'll head west and then north through Indonesia and Singapore and Malaysia, and then I'll fly over to Borneo and do hopefully enough filming in Borneo to get Malaysia, Indonesia, and of course Brunei, which is the main point of going over to Borneo. Flying back, I'll continue north into Thailand, where I'll make it all the way to the mountains in Chiang Mai, at which point I'll head east into Laos, south into Cambodia, and see the eastern side of Cambodia that I've never gotten to see, back over through Angkor area and Siem Reap, Phnom Penh, and get the filming that I wanted to do there last time I was there. And then I have decided to put the visa requiring nations at the end of the trip, so I'll be securing visas for both Vietnam and Myanmar right in a row and spend about a month traveling between the two. 2 weeks in each should put me at about October in Myanmar, and that's a very strategic time to be in Myanmar because they have the Festival of Lights that takes place on Inle Lake, and I've always wanted to get up there and photograph and film the Festival of Lights. It's supposed to be spectacular. Other points of interest on that trip are Bayon, the pagodas, down south in Ranong. Yangon is what it's called in the Romanized lexicon. At that point, the trip will be over, and I will most likely settle back into Thailand, where I'll spend the next 6 or 8 months editing, publishing, and producing the films, as well as compiling all of the journals, putting together a marketing strategy for getting all that stuff out there. So that's basically the plan for the year. I wanted to make this video journal because it's a very bittersweet time. The particular blog journal that this video is going into is the last of a long series of very wonderful experiences that I've had the absolute pleasure to write about. And for those of you who have stuck with me throughout the years, thank you so much. I wanted to give you a face-to-computer display of appreciation there. If there's one thing I would change about the blog, it would be that I get more people commenting on the blogs. That's very rewarding for me to see that interaction. I get a lot of private messages. A lot of people just email me and say, wow, this is great, I had thoughts about this, and while I love that and want those to keep coming, I also just want to make sure that I welcome people to also leave comments on the blog. I mean, that's what gets discussions going and gets more people coming in and checking out the blog. And speaking of that, I want to ask for one thing in return. There's something that everybody can do. It's free, won't cost you a thing. You'll benefit from the wide array of media that I'm bringing into the site and will continue to bring into the site. And that's just to simply visit and click. Click as much as possible. Click all the photos on the blog. Send this blog to other people. Have your friends sign up for a subscription. Let other people know about the blog. But I'll end on that note. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking with me throughout the years. Thank you so much for the warm comments, all the support. That's been really great. So from me to you, thank you very much, and be sure to keep the eye out for good stuff in the future. Thanks so much.